And welcome back to episode 115 of the Hassle of Hair. This is your host, Jesse Diaz. I guess I'm introducing myself. We're on a low budget, guys. We're on a very low budget. I could only afford myself right now. Unfortunately, our live band decided to call off, and he might get fired now, but it's okay. It's all right. And then the second host, she decided to call off today too, so it's just me holding down the fort. But your sponsors today are Adaptive Sessions and Raquel Diaz Designs. Support those that support us. And Raquel Diaz Designs this Sunday is going to be in Modesto, California. Modesto, California, guys. She's going to be having a booth selling her items such as my favorite, the Luchador stocking. I keep on forgetting what these are called. They're stockings. Right? Stockings. You put stuff in them when Santa comes. They're an extra gift. It doesn't make any sense to me. Right? They're socks right next to the fireplace. But they're a thing for Christmas. She sells them. She also sells us other custom clothes, custom ornaments, custom designs, custom anything. My wife makes anything. She's on her way to making tie shorts. She's learning how to make tie shorts. And within the next year, 2022, you might be seeing Raquel Diaz Designs Muay Thai shorts coming at you. But let's look at where did stockings come from. Right? Like, as a kid, you just wake up and there's a sock full of candy and other gifts, even though you already got gifts from Santa and from everybody else. Like, here's an extra thing. And you don't realize on those extra things until you become a parent, or, if you're a parent, because you have to spend more money. I mean, our daughter's 15 now, so it's not, when she was younger, it was like we'd spend a grip. Like, Christmas was always close to $2,000 just for her. I don't know. Maybe I just think it's $2,000 and my wife knows the real number. Where did stockings come from? Looking up right now, guys. Originate. Ooh, that's a good word. That's a $6 word. So it says, It says St. Nicholas had an early merging with the grandmother cult in Bari, Italy, where the grandmother put gifts in stockings. This merge, St. Nicholas would later travel north and merge with the Odin. I don't know what the... Okay, here we go. Christmas stockings. History. Let's see the history. Right, because it doesn't make any sense. Christmas, if you really look at it, Christmas doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, most of the holidays don't make sense. They're religious, but then you add a bunny for how did I forget the holiday? Gosh, I'm getting hit in the head too much. Easter. You get Jesus coming back to life, but then they throw a bunny in Easter. Like, it's what? And then you're looking for hidden eggs. I don't understand it. Jesus, it's birthday. So we're going to throw a fat guy with a beard on, and then you get gifts, not only wrapped in under a tree, but you get them in socks, and then you get free gifts from the fat dude that comes down the chimney. Or what's another one? I don't know if you guys celebrate the Five Kings, celebrating the day that the Five Kings came to give Jesus presents, but we used to wake up and get money in our shoes. There'd always be money in our shoes on the 5th of January, I want to say. I think the 5th of January. It's so weird. The origin, here we go, guys. I found it. It says, the origin of the Christmas stocking is thought to originate in the life of St. Nicholas. While there is no written records of the origin of the Christmas stocking, there are popular legends that attempt to tell the history of this Christmas tradition. Come on. One such legend has several variations, but the following is a good example. The villager talking about the girls. St. Nicholas wanted to help, but knew that the old man wouldn't accept charity. He decided to help in secret. After dark, he threw 3 bags of gold through an open window. What the fuck? One landed in his stocking. When the girls and their father woke up, the next morning they found bags of gold and were, of course, overjoyed. The girls were able to get married and live happily ever after. Other versions of the story say that St. Nicholas threw the 3 bags of gold directly into the stockings, which were hung by the fireplace to dry. What the fuck? What does this have to do about Jesus? Or religion? Right? I'm not very religious, guys. Even though my morals are very religious. But what the fuck? So St. Nicholas was an actual dude? Hold on. I thought he was like just a made up character. St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas of Myra. How do I not know this? So St. Nicholas of Myra, also known as Nicholas of Bari, was an early Christian bishop of Greek descent from the maritime city of Myra in Asia Minor, wherever that is, during the time of the Roman Empire. Because of the many miracles attributed to his intercession, he is also known as the Nicholas, the Wonder Worker. St. Nicholas is the patron saint of sailors, merchants, archers, repentant thieves, children, brewers, pawnbrokers, unmarried people, and students in various cities and countries around Europe. So, I mean, you see children in there. I mean, I guess you got he's the saint of children, brewers, he's just a man of many, many trades. He's unmarried, or no, not unmarried. He's the saint to unmarried people. What? His reputation evolved among the Pisces, whatever the fuck that is. You guys, I need to read more about Greek and Roman shit. As was common for early Christian saints, and his legendary habit of secret gift giving gave rise to the traditional motto of Santa Claus. Boom. A saint that secretly gave gifts. Fucking, this dude would not post on Instagram saying that he gave to a homeless man, for sure. So he was a very humble dude. So who would have known? Santa Claus was a humble fucking dude, guys. Drinking water, guys. And so we go on. Very little is known about the historical St. Nicholas. The earliest accounts of his life were written centuries after his death and contain many legendary elaborations. You know, it's funny. They will not. You'll never see that written about like anything in the Bible about Jesus, right? You will never see. No one will ever write. The earliest accounts of his life were written centuries after his death and contain many legendary elaborations. No one says that about Jesus. I guess religious people won't say that. That it's legends that were elaborated. I don't know. That's just me, though. Don't listen to me. He said to have been born. We're not talking about Jesus. We're talking about Saint Nicholas, who's a real guy, and he kind of looks like Jesus. To be honest, if you look him up, he's like it looks like one of those saint candles, you know, the ones that you see at a Catholic church. He looks like a saint. He's dressed up as a saint, not in a fucking red robe. He is said to have been born in the Greek seaport of Patara, Lycia. So I guess he's born in Greece. His parents were wealthy Christian parents. In one of the earliest attested and most famous incidents from his life, he is said to have rescued 3 girls from being forced into prostitution by dropping a sack of gold coins through the window of their house each night for 3 nights so their father could pay a dowry for each of them. So dowry is like for them to get married. So dang, St. Nicholas was kind of a pimp. I mean, he was paying these prostitutes. I mean, the legend has it. I mean, they were elaborated, so you never really know. He could have been a pimp that was just paying his prostitutes, and they ended up just getting married off of the money that they were giving him. I mean, that's my story from reading Wikipedia. So take it for what it is. I don't know, but that's pretty crazy. And then let's see. Almost done with Christmas, guys. I'm really loving this right now. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really loving this. This is crazy. This is fucking crazy to me. So, a dowry of each of them. Other early stories tell of him calming a storm at sea, saving 3 innocent soldiers from wrongful execution. This Saint Nicholas was a motherfucker, huh? And chopping down also another story was and chopping down a tree possessed by a demon. What in the fuck? In his youth, he was said to have made a pilgrimage to Egypt and Palestine. Shortly after his return, he became Bishop Amira. He was later cast into prison during the persecu. Come on, Jesse, you could fucking read, dude. Let's go. During the Persecution. I don't know why I can't say that. Persecution of Diocletian. Let's see how to say it. Let's see. It should say on Wikipedia on how to say it, right? I don't know, but who fucking cares? Let's just keep going. So, but it says he was later cast into prison during the persecution, the word I can't fucking say, but was released after the accession of Constantine. An early list makes him an attendee at the First Council of Nicaea. You guys, I need to fucking read about fucking Santa Claus. Like I was hating. We were putting up the Christmas tree and I was fucking hating on Santa Claus in my head. I was like, this is fucking stupid. But this motherfucker was a badass. I mean, just from reading a little bit of it. Like you read about Jesus and how he cured people and how a woman touched him and was healed, like, and he walked on water. But I mean, this dude, St. Nicholas, was a fucking badass too. Fuck. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys read, but I listen and read. Right now I'm reading the 11 Rings with Phil Jackson. I'm like a super into coaching books. Always been, even before I started at Strike. But I need to get back into nonfiction. Let's see, like, because like all this stuff, like where do the fucking stories come from? The elaborated stories, like if there is history in them. It's like you just have to find the book to read about. And it's always crazier than the actually elaborated story, right? I mean, now you think about stories from back then and how life was like during the Roman Empire. Like we would think they're fiction now of like how much killing, how much sickness, like even learning about I forgot what fucking book I read. It was a while ago, but um it was about early surgery. Like learning about history, like actual real history is sometimes greater than fiction. The nonfiction is harder to believe than actual fiction, right? Like at one point, everything that we're good at now, we used to suck at. And some of the things that we sucked at, or that we're good at now, if we suck at, then there's a lot of deaths. Like surgeries, for one. We had to learn somehow, and that was by fucking practicing. And surgery is not the one thing you want to get wrong, right? Let's see my library. So right now, I got 11 Rings, that one. And then I'm trying to like listen to this one. The the fighter pilot John Boyd, who made the but he's like the most like iconic fucking strategist out there for war and anything. We still use all his methods today. But like I got that one in line. I read a little bit of it. I listened to a little bit of it. Chasing the Thrill. It's a bunch of nonfiction, but it's not the nonfiction I need to be learning about war and all the past stuff like fucking Santa Claus. I don't know. Hopefully I didn't lose you guys and you guys just turned it off already. But yeah, I got I have to start learning history. I don't know what it is. I like autobiographies better. But then you only get the view of one person. You don't actually learn about actual events, I guess. That's wild, man. I thought Santa Claus was an actual just made up person. I didn't know he was an actual person that they made legends about and then it turned into a fat guy in a red suit. Like it's pretty fucking nuts. But I think because I'm on that because we put up the Christmas tree today. We got a fake Christmas tree. Pretty pretty mellow one. I know some families like go crazy big and they have this huge fucking Christmas tree and it's fucking spinning. They have a huge fucking um train going around it and you walk in like I remember being a kid and I go over friends' houses cuz I grew up in East Side San Jose and then but I went to school and especially in elementary I went to a school called Laurelwood and around Laurelwood was the big houses and my parents they changed they faked our address so I could go to that school. And I would go to my friends' houses who lived in these huge houses, and I lived in a house with three other families. And I'd go to their houses, especially on Christmas. I'd walk in, and they had these huge fucking Christmas trees with the nice patterned fucking ornaments, the like white shiny ornaments, lights everywhere, like and and it's in the like a big living room. It's just crazy. Like I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with like my parents. It got better over time, but I just remember like our Christmas tree wasn't as big as theirs, and like even that. Why do you need a fucking big ass tree inside your house? You know, like doesn't make any sense to me. Like, but you got to get the big one. So we got a fake tree. We got a fake tree. We put up a fake tree and we have our ornaments that we put up every year. And I tried it one year. I tried to get my daughter to listen to like let's listen to metal and rock when we put up the ornaments, but she just took off her hearing aids and just didn't listen to it. So we stopped doing that and listened to Christmas music. But so we put on Christmas music. We put up the tree. We did all that stuff and it was fun today. But now let's look at where did the Christmas trees originate from? Christmas trees. Christmas trees origin. Christmas trees origin. History of Christmas trees. That's a good one to. Yep, history of Christmas trees. How did Christmas trees start? Long before the advent of Christianity, plants and trees that remained green all year had special meaning for people in the winter. Just as people today decorate their homes during the festive season with pine, spruce, and fir trees, ancient people hung evergreen boughs over their doors and the windows. In many countries, it was believed that the evergreens would keep away witches, ghosts, and evil spirits and illnesses. No wonder why there's so many fucking evil spirits in my house. I have a small ass Christmas tree. That's why all these fucking rich people have these big ass Christmas trees and there's no evil spirits in their fucking house. And illnesses. Everybody that had a small Christmas tree got fucking COVID. I don't know. But yeah, but I guess it was supposed to ward off trees, right? And it says, "Did you know Christmas trees are grown in all 50 states, including Hawaii and Alaska?" It's a money maker for sure. All year you grow these Christmas trees. Oh, half the year, right? Half the year grow these Christmas trees, and then wait, I don't. Do they grow them, or do they grow them, and then they no, they don't grow them because some of the places in San Jose they were just there and they stood them up. They put them in the ground. They already yeah yeah they farm them, right. It's a fucking money maker. Like you spend all your money growing these trees, and then you probably like I guarantee like you probably make 5 times what you paid for them, right? Because everybody needs a fucking Christmas tree, but they're kind of dying too. Like we have a fake Christmas tree. My wife and my daughter really want to get a real one, but the mess, having to take it out of the house, having to throw it away, um, the dogs wanting to fucking jump on it. it or maybe I'm just a Grinch, maybe. But we need to get one because apparently they ward off fucking evil spirits. Fucking Christmas trees, guys. Yeah, that's what we did today. I got Nashi, my sister's girlfriend's a tattoo artist. She does my tattoos and she touched up one today. And it fucking hurts. It was the first time second time, she touched up a tattoo. The second time feels like it hurts more. I don't know about you guys. It hurts more. And it was like right where the wrist is. So I have it right next to my palm. It's the inside of my forearm. And where the wrist is fucking hurts. Like that pain fucking hurts. But other than like the the wrist hurt and maybe the ins like the outs like the very middle of the forearm fucking hurt. But yeah, I got that done today. Was running around all fucking day today. Actually all weekend. Like I I don't stop. I don't stop connecting with people with I always have something to do without even knowing. And that's my problem is that I don't I try to fit everything in one time. Somebody asked me to do this. I say yes. Somebody asked me to do this. I say yes. Somebody asked me to do this. I say yes. I say yes to everything. And then I'm bombarded every week with a bunch of shit. It keeps me going, but then I'm too optimistic onto thinking that I could get it all done, right? But this week I got it all done. It was hard, so this week was fight week for Kenneth Hamels. If you guys don't know by now, I work at a gym. You know, the reason why this podcast started is because me and my wife quit our jobs and we wanted to go after our goals and we wanted to show that through our journey. You know, my goal was to become a professional fighter. As of right now, it's probably not going to happen, but I found this new love for and coaching and honestly podcasting and then trying to help my wife grow her business. You know, I'm doing that thing, right? So I work at a gym, Strike Fitness, and Kenneth is this new fighter that we got. He just started in March, but he's a very high level wrestler. Monster. His switch is different. Like the way I explain it is his switch is different from a lot of people. He goes with intensity. His intensity is different. That's what it is. His intensity, his competitiveness is there, and I didn't know that most people don't have that. I thought that's what comes when somebody wants to fight. I thought that always comes with somebody because like with me, like I want to win. Like that's in my head. I want to win. I want to do good. I want to fucking compete. That's with anything I do. I want to do it good. I want to like I want to compete. I thought that competitive edge was with everybody. I didn't know on how hard it was for people to do that. And seeing people at the gym and seeing other competitors or other fighters and seeing them some people struggle with it, it was weird to me. So when Kenneth came in, I was like, man, this guy has it. This guy has that competitive edge. Like, who knows where he's gonna go? I mean, the sky's the limit for him if he keeps on going, but that's his choice. But he has that competitive edge where that switch turns the fuck on. Um, but yeah, so he came in. He's this wrestler, has this competitive switch that turns on, and it wasn't. It was never like some people. It takes a while for them to say, okay, they're gonna start fighting. But with Kenneth, it was like right away. It was like right away. And we were sitting at a bar one day, and it was after the strike dinner, the yearly dinner, and I asked him because I'd never asked him before. I go, Kenneth, like, do you even want to fight? What's the reason to fight? And he's like, it was like I never asked him that before, and I'll like that's his business what he said, so I won't put it out there, but it was more of just like, do you even want to fight? Like, I've never even asked him. It was from the right from the beginning. It was like, we know this guy's gonna fight. It's gonna go just from looking at him, right? And that's how it's been. He had his MMA fight, won it in 24 seconds. Then he had his Muay Thai fight, where he's hasn't really done stand up. I mean, he's wrestled, and that was his main thing right now is getting better at stand up. So what do? Put him in a Muay Thai fight, have him train Muay Thai, take it serious. But he's we literally been training. Like, he doesn't stop training. Like, the man has a full-time job. There's no excuses. He grinds every day. It's the same thing over and over and over again. And even when he missed days, he would come in I'd work with him on Sundays. And right when he'd get to the gym, he'd warm up and we'd start working elbows because we knew it was going to be elbows this fight. So we started working elbows. And the stand-up is something that was totally new for him. And he decided to step in there and fight, which was fucking amazing. Right? Not many people will be humble enough to say, oh, it's something that I'm not. I'm good at wrestling, so just keep me in wrestling, right? Keep me in grappling. I'll just grapple in MMA. But he took on the challenge, and he fucking won. I'll say that right now. He won. He won unanimously. It was incredible to see this guy that came in as a wrestler who had no stand-up, who was very competitive, and Strike changed him into a stand-up fighter. Held his hands up the whole entire time, kept his stance, was throwing kicks, was throwing punches, threw an elbow, throwing knees, got a sweep. Like, it was like this dude just came in March. I'm proud of him, and it's like a reassurance. Like, everything that we're doing at Strike is something, you know, because we seeing Kenneth do well really made me feel like, okay, we're moving, you know, we're in the right direction. If we could change this guy and get him to keep his hands up, to get him to keep his Muay Thai stance, fight smart. There were flaws. I mean, he didn't fight perfect. He's not a world beater yet. I mean, there are things that we need to work on, but it wasn't sloppy. You see a lot of these fights, and you've seen him there. It was sloppy. This wasn't sloppy. Very technical. Oh, okay. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, for him only having the limited training, very technical. And there's some of these guys that have been fighting for a while, and they weren't technical. Right? Um, but it was cool to see. It was cool, really cool to see, and I was happy for him. He's been putting in the work. I just can't wait for him to do MMA again. Can't wait for him to do what if he gets these Muay Thai fights in, pounding these Muay Thai fights out, and then decides to go back to MMA and has his wrestling with his distance and stand up. Holy shit! Fuck. He's gonna be a monster, right? And Ryan, the Hodge brothers put on a good event. It was cool. It was a theater. Um, the really good fights didn't go until the end, right? And I've known of I've seen Cy Hansen, Hugh Cy Hansen before. I've known of him. I've met him before, and the dude's a monster. And then you got Robinson, like met that guy before, and he beat the shit out of a guy that had 40 fights. That was insane. I don't know. Those two fights, it sucks because there was 20 something fights, and nobody really stayed till the end. Everybody was gone by the 20th fight. So they didn't get to see the two best fights on the card. And it's cool because you see some of these guys go through PKBs and do the PKBs, the point sparring matches, and then they go to the amateur ranks and they fight amateur, and then you see them go to the top of the amateurs, win belts, and then you see them start going to pro, and it's like when they say there's levels to this, there's literally actual levels. It's like if you pass this person, you start off amateurs, then you go to regionals and pros, and then from regional pros you go to United States, the whole entire United States, and then from United States you go to world. And if you're fighting world people around the world, then it's like fuck, you're on a whole different level. I don't know. And that's the goal for Strike, right? It's to get these world fighters, these people that are fighting people around the world. And I, you guys, I love coaching. I really do love it, and it's something I want to be better at every day, every week. I want to get better at it. Like I'm glad to be under somebody that really cares about her, not only her brand, but her coaching and her fighters, and like she cares, right? Cares so much where it like the strike comes first before her. It's just very, it's good to be behind somebody like that, where it's not about them. And it's teaching me a lot, and it's teaching me that I love coaching a lot. Being able to work with somebody and work pad work and tell them like you got to fix this and you got to fix that, and then trying to get me to be more knowledgeable, and working on myself and working on what I know, and talking to different other coaches, and seeing what they know and how can I get better at this and how can I get better at that. Like, love it. And then getting to know these people on a whole different level, and really get inside their head, and just see the different personalities is really cool. I don't know. Yeah, so that was my weekend. I took Coach had me take Kenneth to weigh-ins, and that was my first time running the weigh-ins as my responsibility, and it was that's that like people. If you have a bad coach or if you have a bad gym, at weigh-ins, you could tell at weigh-ins, like the guys that don't have their paperwork, or the guys that don't have a coach there and they're by themselves, they don't have their paperwork, they don't know what they're doing, the coach is not there, and they have no idea what they're doing, and that's how you know, like, okay, who's from a good gym and who's not from a good gym. Like those guys, like the guys that you knew that were unprepared for at weigh-ins and were struggling and all this stuff. Like I pointed some out and I was like, that guy's gonna lose. That guy's gonna lose. And I was, and for sure, it just happened that way. I could have been wrong. I could have been just being a douchebag, but preparation, right? And that's the one thing I noticed when I first met Coach Amber was her preparation. She had all the paperwork ready already for my weigh-ins. Everything was already set. You always go to weigh-ins and these people are in line. And when you fight and you have to get your license, right? So you have to fill out a form for that. Then you have to fill out a form for your physical. And then you have to pay for your coroner's license. So you have to all have this paperwork, and these people get there and they don't have none of this paperwork. You're able to print it out from online. And that was the first thing I noticed about Coach Amber was that we had all that ready. You see people getting in line, waiting in line all this time, getting to the front, seeing the commission, and they're like, all right, you got to go back because you got to fill out this paperwork and this paperwork. It's like being at the DMV and not having the paperwork right, right? It's exactly like that. And Coach Amber has it prepared already. And little stuff like that makes a difference because you don't have to worry. You could weigh in and go right away, leave, right? And just feeling confident that your coach has your back. You have to feel like your coach has your back because this is the person guiding you. This is the person teaching you. If they're not at weigh-ins or if they're not helping you with the process, like, then how are you supposed to trust them? I don't know. But so she always has that paperwork done. And she's like, have this ready. So I have it all ready, and I'm just like stressing. I got to get everything right. I want to be like Coach Amber, right? But and at the same time, we had to finish cutting his weight. He had an easy cut. I just think we started a little too late, and he had about 1 more pound, so we had to run around Fresno. It was an easy pound, but we had to run. And it just, so that added, and it was stressful, but we got it done. He made weight. He was ready to go. And then I got to be a spectator at the fight, which is amazing. Didn't have to deal with anything. Turned off my phone. Just enjoyed the moment. Enjoyed watching Kenneth whoop ass. Enjoyed the fucking moment to watch my fucking training partner, my brother, the dude that I see grow in a matter of a few months, like, win. It was a good experience. Yeah, if you guys are from Los Baños, you guys are listening, you guys haven't been to Strike Fitness, we're on G Street, 115 G Street, right across the street from Parizzo's, in the same parking lot as the Comcast store. I guess this is where people pay their Comcast bill. I don't know who still has cable, right? But that's what I did this weekend. It was fun. I love my life, guys. You guys have no idea. It's not the easiest life, and it's very stressful. It's running around, but I love it. Being able to be around fighters, to watch fighting, like that was my weekend, was to go watch my teammate go fight. Like, and then we're gonna go back in the gym and fix all the things that he did wrong. Like, and then, like today, these people are becoming my family. Like Nashi moved into a new place, and I got her. Another coach had a bed for her, like a big bed, a way better bed, and I had to go pick it up, and we're moving. She wasn't even with us, and I'm moving the bed in for her to her room, and me and my sister were moving into her room, and Coach Jose and Coach Craig were there. We're helping to move it for her, and I'm looking around. I'm looking at Coach Craig. I'm looking at Coach Jose. I'm looking at my sister, and I don't even think they notice it, but I'm happy. I'm happy with all the people that I'm meeting through this journey, through the strike. Like, my phone sometimes like blows up. Like Saturday morning, I slept in because I was at weigh-ins all night, and I had my phone off, and I woke up a little late, and I turned my phone on, and it just went bing, 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 like just nonstop messages on Instagram, messages on Facebook, messages on my text messages, and it is non-fucking stop. Just people from the gym, family, other people from other gyms. Like it could be overwhelming at times, but then I take a step back and say, you're not alone. You're not alone. And I'm happy for all the people in my life. And even to the people that are listening and they feel like they're alone, I don't want to get on the subject, but I guess I'll get into the subject. Like, if you feel like you're alone, like, don't be afraid to reach out. Like, don't be afraid to reach out to anybody. It could be me. It could be anybody. Or if you really want to, like, go help somebody. And the trickle effect of helping somebody will make you more social. It's weird. It's weird, but like once you start helping somebody, it trickles into you meeting more people, and you meeting more people, and meeting good people. Because the worst thing that happens is you do something and you meet people that are not motivated. Because the people around you is what drives you. And I'm surrounded by I work at a fucking martial arts gym, right? Everybody's motivated. I see nonstop motivated people all fucking day. Like, that's my fucking life. I see motivated, or people that want to get motivated. And you're in there for a fucking reason. Speaking about reaching out, so if you saw me at the fights and you do listen, and you came up to me and said that you listen and that you dig the podcast, and I was awkward, I'm sorry. It's just weird for me. It's weird for me. Like, it is. It's a strange thing, because I just posted, like, I'm going to be talking to a light again. Like, I'm in my living room. It's 10 o'clock right now. And I'm about to go to bed, kind of like in my pajamas, right? And the fact that I could record in my living room, press upload, and it goes to these people, it's fucking weird to me, right? And we're almost back to what we used to be. Like, this is probably going to be the second best month that we had since we started. Like, the second month that we ever started was the best month we had. We're getting on pace to hit close to that, right? Of how many people listened the month. And that month we had 3 episodes a week. So it's like more people are listening. And the fact that, like, people are all of a sudden, San Leandro picked up. Like, people started listening from there. I don't know where that is in California. Like, but thank you guys. If you guys see me in person, I'm sorry that I'm fucking awkward. It's just weird to me. Like, this is the most I talk. Really talk. Most of the time I'm just goofing off and joking around and having a good time. But yeah. Keeping on with the fucking keeping on, guys. Life's fucking weird. It gets fucking hard. There's times when you feel like, man, everything's going to fall apart. I was talking to a buddy of mine. There's times where you just feel like you're just going to implode. Like, everything around you is just going to fall apart. It's just going to explode. Sometimes we do it to ourselves. Sometimes we do it on purpose. But if you have the right mindset, you have the right goals, you have the right people around you, you won't stop going forward. And it really comes down to the people that you have around you. I'm noticing that. Because there's people that just want to not even know that they're doing it, but just want to leech off of you. You only have a limited amount of energy. right? And especially if you're a parent or a spouse, you got to save some for your family. And I'm trying. I am trying for my family. It's hard. It really is hard because you want to do good for them, but at the same time as you're doing good for them, you're spending time away from them. Like putting up that Christmas tree meant a lot. I love my family. I love them. I love my daughter. I love my wife. I love what we've become. Love what we've become. What I've grown. What me and my wife have grown. This family. It's amazing. We didn't have this as kids. We weren't like this as kids. We didn't have this structure. As a kid, I didn't believe I was going to go to college. As I didn't believe I was going to do something great. And I hope Eva knows that she's going to do something great. You know, she is able to go to any college that she wants. Because kids need to know that they're able to get out and do whatever they want. You can't hold them back. You can't hold them back. A friend over the weekend, we drove to the fights and back to the fights, and I always talk to this guy a lot. And he heard it from somebody, and he told me, like, raising kids is like holding water in your hand. If you open up your hand and loose with the water will fall out. But then if you're too tight and squeeze it, the water will fall out. So you got to be just right. Just right. And water's still going to slip out, right? Meaning, like, if you don't pay attention to your kids, if you're not in their lives, they're going to slip up, right? They're going to mess up because you're not paying attention. But then when you're hovering too much and you're smothering them and not letting them go places, not letting them experience stuff, they're going to rebel. They're going to do stuff wrong. They're going to want to do stuff bad. You got to be just right. You have to be in their lives, but give them enough slack to go out and experience stuff. It's the only way. I mean, everybody knows, like, those kids that their parents were too strict. Every single one of them. It's not like this is what I find it crazy that parents just smother their kids, because don't they remember the kids that they grew up with, like, that their parents smothered them? Every single one of them. Not one fucking kid came out good from that. Kid having a kid early, getting pregnant early, getting into drugs, or just having troubled lives. Right? Like, nothing good came from that. I'm not saying I'm the perfect parent. That's not what I'm saying. It's just you gotta let your kids experience stuff. Like, maybe I shouldn't have experienced as much stuff as I did, but I'm glad I experienced some stuff as a kid. Being able to see, like, the bad, what happens when you go off the edge, like where you're in the bad situations, right? Drugs, gang banging, just bad stuff, right? And I was lucky where my parents, see, before my mom died, like, we were raised pretty good. You know, we lived in a pretty bad neighborhood, but at the same time, our parents guided us with love and guided us with rules, right? Not rules where we were smothered, we couldn't do stuff, but rules where we had enough slack, but they didn't let us get in that much trouble, right? But then my mom passed away and all hell broke loose. So I got both worlds. I got a really good childhood and I got a fucked up one. Really fucked up one. And then I think the combination of seeing both really helped me as an adult. You know, after I dealt with all the emotion of just my past. After I dealt with it all, it really, right now, I'm strong. Right now, I'm able to see, like, that helped me living those, like, before 15, I had a good childhood. After 15, it was fucked up. And being able to see that was a good thing, right? But I'm not saying I'm the greatest parent in the world, but it's just, it's you gotta kind of like just let your kids figure some stuff out by themselves, because you cannot force them to learn. Once you start forcing them to learn, then they're gonna rebel. Love my daughter, love her to death. You know what's crazy is she's not even my blood. You know, and Raquel will probably get pissed off at me saying this, but through the pandemic, I think she's seen her dad 2 times. Since 2019, she's seen her dad 2 times. Her real dad. He's a fucking cunt. I can't imagine not getting in touch with your daughter, seeing your child. I can't imagine that, man. Not one fucking, like, not like there's no love. Like there's nothing stopping him. Like, I'm not gonna sit here. Like, no one's stopping him from being in this little girl's life, and I could see that. I could see it in her eyes. Like, that's why I do everything I can to show her how a man's supposed to be with her, because men don't know. Certain men don't understand when they're out of their child's life, especially a daughter, especially a fucking daughter. If you're out of your child's life and it's a daughter, that's what her representation of a man is. So if you're a fucking pussy and don't fucking take care of your child and not there for your daughter, then that's what she sees as a man. She sees that men are going to let her down. And again, I'm not saying I'm the best dad in the world. What I'm saying is that I want to show her how a man's supposed to really treat her. Because if you don't show her that, then all she gets is someone that lets her down, and she's going to go towards that. I don't want that. And I fucking hate it that like, that it could just be okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's okay for her to hurt. Like, no one sees, like, the hurt that happens from him not trying, him not being there. No one sees that. So it's not the anger that I have towards him. It's the anger that I have towards seeing what she goes through. I could care less what he does. I could care less how he is or what he does. The pain that I see from her is what drives me fucking insane. What gets me mad. I'm not an envious dude or someone that wants to be all fucking bully somebody, because that's the last thing I want to do. But it frustrates the fuck out of me that I see her in pain and he just gets to be whatever about it. You know, I've never been, it's just weird to me. And people could say, like, how are you saying this on a podcast? How are you saying this live or putting it out there for everybody to hear it and he's not even listening? People don't see her pain. People don't get to see her pain. People don't see that. So I could care less about his fucking feelings. I could care less about how he's doing or whatever. But all I see is that little girl's pain. For 9 years, it has been fucking wishy-washy not being a fucking dad. And I had to step in and be a fucking dad. which I have no problem doing, but I will never be her blood dad. I will never be her blood father. And coming from a family where my dad let me down, and coming from a family that my dad is a fucking asshole and ruined a lot of relationships in my fucking life and did stuff to me that like gave me traumatic events. Like, I understand that no one's going to replace your real blood dad. Like, at the end of it all, you really want him to love you. You really want him to be there for you. But it's weird because you know it'll never happen. And the pain you go through is insane. So because I went through that and then I see her going through that, it fucking frustrates me. And all he has to do is just pick her up. Simple as that. Crazy. No reason, nothing. It's just, it's mind. But I don't even know how I got on it. I don't even bring this up to my wife. Be a good parent. Be a fucking good parent. It's not even being a good parent. You could be a shitty person, but just be there for your kids. Don't just ignore them. Be there for your kids. Simple as that. You don't even have to talk to them. Just be there. Just saying hi, just saying good morning. How are you doing in person? Talking to them in person and guiding them and just being there. It does a lot. It's nuts because I seen a high school friend that I haven't seen in 10 years. She was sitting at Starbucks and I didn't even know it was her. And I'm walking by her. And I look at her, I'm like, is that her? Is that her? And then I just walk away. And then I messaged her, were you at Starbucks right now? And she said, yeah. So me and my sister went back and went to go say hi. And I haven't talked to her in 10 years. And it just brought up memories from my childhood that I was like, man, this girl knows what I went through. And it was like like a lot of people in my life now don't really know my childhood and what I went through and how it was, how crazy it was. And just seeing this girl there and me being happy and to see her and giving her a hug and just talking to her for a little bit, it just felt good. It felt good to be happy in life, seeing somebody that see me shitty as a child, like seeing in a shitty situation as a child. It felt good to show her that I'm doing okay. You know? Fuck, man. Life is fucking crazy. It's nuts. Like, it is. Like, martial arts literally saved my life. It seriously saved my life. It really did. You know? And like, I got that coach. I think I said on the last podcast, I got the coach's award, and it just showed me, like, because I grew up not thinking I was going to be anything. Right? Like, I remember it clearly to this day. Remember it clearly, like being in the ambulance after me and my mom got in an accident. Like, if you guys don't know, me and my mom got in an accident on the way home, on the way to school. And I remember clearly to this day still being in the ambulance and thinking that my life was fucked. It was just a clear thought. Like, it was weird. Because I wasn't in that much pain. Like, I had internal bleeding, but I was so much shock. I just remember laying there and just thinking, oh, Life has changed, right? I was right next to the dude that killed, not really killed my mom, but he got in an accident. Like, he hit my mom from the side. I was in the same ambulance as him, and I was just thinking, I was like, man, what in the fuck? I'm laying next to this dude who just killed my mom, and I'm telling him that it's okay because he was talking to Spanish with me, telling me to forgive him, and I'm telling him it's okay, and just knowing that like your life has changed, and then getting out of the hospital. Because at the hospital, fucking 100 to 150 people were lined up at the hospital just waiting for me to, were visiting me in the hospital, you know? I'm not over exaggerating. It was just nonstop visitors. And it was like, that was the band-aid on it. And then you get out, and then there's nobody around you. Nobody's helping you. You're stuck with your crazy dad. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm never, my life is going to be shitty the rest of the time. I didn't think that I would ever get out for where I was. And seeing the people around me, seeing what I'm doing with Strike, and then the coach's award with my wrong name on it, but but getting that award, seeing Kenneth win over the weekend, seeing how different fighters come in and what we're doing, and then seeing my wife do something, and then my daughter, how well she's doing, because that's number one. It's number one to me, how she's doing with school and what she's doing with her life. Me being a good dad is my number one priority, and it I'm sitting down and I'm thinking to myself, like, you got out. You did it. This whole entire time you thought you were like, I thought that I wasn't gonna get out. I was always gonna be in pain forever. And I got out. I'm happy. I'm happy. No matter what happens from here on out, like, people always talk about the chains of your family's past. And I feel like I broke those chains. I feel like I broke them. And it feels good. Like, it just, the weight of that, it's good. No matter if I coach a fighter all the way to a UFC fight, or if I just train kids, or if, like, I'm doing something I love. I'm gonna put my heart and soul into that, and just the way I did with fighting. And who knows? I might fight. Who fucking knows? I could fight down the line if I get my fucking weight on point. But the end of the day, I'm fucking happy, and no one could take that away from me. And I hope it lets people know, like, because there are kids I at the gym that I talk to on a personal level, and I know I could see it. Even adults, I could see the hurt. I could see that what they're going through because of what I'm going through, what I went through. And I some of them point out. I point blank out. I tell them blank. Oh, fuck. I tell them straightforward. Straightforward. It's going to get better. You just got to get through it. You got to get through it. You got to get through it. You can't look back. Don't fall into the drugs. Don't fall into the liquor. Don't fall into the women. Don't fall into the partying. You can't fall into that. Because once you fall into that it's a hole you dig yourself that you can't get out of. I am lucky. I found my wife when I found her. Because I was a few months from digging that hole. I really was. I was partying for a whole year, Sunday to Sunday. And I was really close from digging a hole for myself. And when you're at a young age and you let that hole be dug from 20 to 25 to, or 20 or 28 or 30, that's a hard hole to get out of. So don't give up. Don't fucking give up. If you're listening still to the hour and 6 minutes to the end, don't fucking give up. I'm telling you right now, it will get better and you will be happy. I know your pain. I know how you're hurting. I know shit sucks sometimes and you don't know how you're going to get better. You don't know how you're going to get things done. You don't know who you feel like you need somebody in your life to talk you out of stuff or whatever. Don't give up and keep moving forward. If I could come to an agreement that I am happy in my life and I'm living what I want to do, so can you, because I am not the smartest person in the world. I'm definitely not the smartest person in the world. I am definitely not the most organized person in the world. I have a lot of character flaws. Like I am least perfect. If I could do it, you could do it. If I could get this far, you can do it. I guarantee you it. And no one's going to help you. No one's going to help you hold your hand to tell you to get motivated. Yes, people will help you out if you work your ass off, and that's key. If you work your ass off, people are going to help you. But you have to want to help yourself. You have to want to do it for yourself. Got to want to do it for yourself. Don't give up, guys. I love you. Thank you for listening. Another serious one. I'm sorry, guys. We will get back to the funny ones. But I wanted to keep it going. I want to fucking keep this going. I don't want to fucking stop, guys. I don't want to stop ever again. I want to have 2 a week all the time, even if it's just me fucking talking. I'm going to give you guys fucking content. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, we're trying to get to 200 on YouTube. We're at 188 right now. Get to YouTube, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Apple, leave a review. Please leave a review. Leave a comment, even if it's just stars. Just give us a review. Share us, like us, all that stuff. Help us grow. If you really like the podcast, help us grow. Okay, there's so many more things I want to do with this, and growth is how we're going to be able to. And it has nothing to do with money. It's the content and the people I want to have on. Right? And so help us grow. Help us grow, guys. Like us, subscribe, share us, tell a friend, whatever you can do. And then check out our sponsors, Raquel Diaz Designs and Adaptive Sessions, guys. Diego's Adaptive Sessions. He does personals for Muay Thai, pad work, boxing, kettlebell workouts in general. Hit him up. Adaptive Sessions, Raquel Diaz Designs, all customs designs for you guys. Anything you guys want, she can make. I'm telling you, anything. Name it, she can make it. Support those that support us. This Sunday, my wife is going to be in Modesto, California, selling at a booth. I will be posting the address below if you guys want to go. and message us if you guys want to know more details. Look out for the flyer. And yeah, I love you guys. Have a great week. Don't give up. Keep on fucking going. It is what it is, guys. Don't fucking give up, guys. I love y'all. Peace.